10 seconds.
Yeah.
That was originally going to be an entire Sonic 2 level. Then it was then cut and reused in Sonic 3. And the level was completed, the first act.
So, like, is there then any big conspiracy as to why then?
No, they just decided not to use it.
Okay.
I don't know the specifics why.
Well, Sonic Team is good. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sonic Team knew what they were doing.
At that time, maybe.
At that time, they probably did know what they were doing, though.
Nowadays, no way.
Which, holy shit, okay. No, but, like, serious time, though, for a second, like, did you see that crazy Sonic game that they're releasing?
For obvious reasons,
It's 16-bit! It's a 16-bit Sonic game. It's a remake of, like, at least, I don't know, I didn't, like, read any interviews about it, but from what I read, they're remaking all the classic Sonic games. They're still in 16-bit, but they've got, like, a new art style, new sprite animations and stuff that look more fluid. No, and then even more so, they've created, like, new levels and stuff. And it's called Sonic Mania. And it looks insane! Because it looks like everything Sonic 4 should have been. And it's like, obviously they also announced that new Sonic game for 2017, which looks like it literally is Generations 2. Because classic Sonic was there with modern Sonic. But, like...
Yeah, for obvious reasons, I have not been paying attention to the leaked Sonic games, or revealed Sonic games.
Well, and it's like, it was just a CGI trailer. Like, you know, it was nothing to be excited about. But, like, Sonic Mania, there was actual gameplay of it, and I was like, man, like, this other Sonic game, who knows, maybe if we see gameplay and it's Sonic Generations 2, then I'll be excited, but I want more of this Sonic Mania. I want to buy this Sonic Mania. Voss. I've got Sonic Mania. I've got Sonic Mania.
That was bad. Please, no.
But, yeah, so,
Please,
so
no
they,
more.
like, yeah, it's gonna be on Xbox One, PS4, and PC, which
Charles?
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, him jumping into the ground, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this game's fine. This game's fine. They probably wanted that to happen.
Oh yeah, this boss fight, which is barely even a boss fight.
Yeah, don't you just, like, chase him?
Yeah, you just have to chase him, keep hitting him, make sure not to drown. Make sure not to starve.
Make sure not to drown or get hit by fireballs. But, yeah, so
And then he, like, calmly waits for you off screen.
I don't know what console I want it for, because, like, I'm going to get it, it's either, PS4 or...
You're gonna drown.
Oh god, I know. Oh god.
Pray to RNGesus. Maybe he'll help.
Well, there we go. Oh, look! The water's right there! Fuck you, Sonic! But, so, I don't know if I want it for the PS4 just for the comfort of, like, being able to play it on a TV with a controller. But then, like, if I get it for, wait, don't I just stand here? Or, oh, no, okay. But then if I, get it for PC, I can
think you
choose
stand
whatever.
over on that thing, the water goes down. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I forgot how this level worked. Because here's the thing, Sonic 1 didn't have save files. This was before save files were invented.
So we'll have to finish it all in one sitting.
Yeah, but so... Like, so for this, this is where the game gets murky, because even to this day, when I play through Sonic 1...
You usually can't last this long.
Yeah, because, like, obviously I have a short attention span, so it's like, I'm like, hey, I want to play Sonic 1 on the Genesis, and then I get to, like, I beat Stardust Speedway, and then it's like Labyrinth Zone, and I'm like, but this is a slow level, and then I'm like, I'm bored, I've been playing for, like, 30 minutes.
I'm similar, but the opposite, where I will get a game.
I'm similar, but the opposite.
I'll get a game, completely obsess over the game, where I just spam play it for a week, like 2 weeks without stopping, and then I never touch the game again.
Oh, well, that's every game.
Like, even
Remember
stuff
Fallout 4? What?
Yeah.
Didn't I have a ring?
No, you never had any rings.
You never had the rings. They were never there. Okay. Alright.
Oh.
No, because we have a continue man. We have a continue, see? Remember, I got a man.
So that's what those were. Huh.
Okay, what we might do, because, guys, okay, shh. Audience, can you, like, close your eyes for a second? Okay, Voss, they got their eyes closed. Look, we're playing it on an Xbox One, so if we want, we can actually just do a save state. So what we'll do is we'll beat Labyrinth. Okay, you guys can open your eyes now, so what we'll do is we will... Oh, also, by the way, guys, thank you. Like, thank you for, respecting my wishes. But, so what we'll do is we will beat this and then we'll just do a save state and stuff, because I am actually starting to get, like... You know how it's like when you... Oh my god, okay.
You need to jump.
Yeah. Like that? Did I jump right?
Do you need me to do it for you?
No, I can do it myself. I'm a grown-up now. Okay, here we go. But, okay.
The waterfall rejects you.
The water's like, why don't you try that again? But, God, what was I saying? No, it's like, I read somewhere when it comes to, like, you know when it's like Let's Plays, when you start it, you're like, yeah, I'm super energized, like, yeah, like, Crazy Taxi, but, no, Crazy Taxi's great, but,
Never played it.
Yeah, we had it on the, Dreamcast. But, so, the, like, with, like, Let's Plays, you start off so full of energy, and then by, like, 30 or 40 minutes in, when you've been forced to talk non-stop, it's like, you're just like, well, that's all I have to say. My lips feel kind of weird because I've never used them this much because I don't talk to people.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you know when you have a workout and you get sore? It's like that, but for your mouth.
For me, it has always been, when I start talking to people, I actually get slightly more energized, but my brain shuts off and I start doing and saying stuff I normally would never say. So I try to avoid talking to people so I don't do stupid things.
Oh, that's just called bad social skills.
Yeah.
This isn't fun, Sonic 1! Okay. I was in this terrible situation where suddenly all at once I realized I didn't have any rings and there was the Spike Man or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah. That thing.
This game is draining me. I just want to move on to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because that's the good game.
Though, I do say that we should probably do Sonic 2 on emulator, because that way I can show off that, the special unreleased stage.
Well, because what I want to do actually is nearing the end, when we begin getting near, like, Sonic Mania and whatever this new Sonic game is going to be, Generations 2 or whatever. Like, that's... We'll
do specials then.
Yeah, we're going to do, like, specials where we're going to take a look at, like, mods and stuff. Like that insane Sonic fan remix, I think it's called.
It only finished the first act, right?
Yeah. It finished, like, the first act, and it was insane, and the visuals were incredible.
I think probably the main problem with that fan game is that they were too incredible.
Yeah, they dropped their load all in one go. They were just like, hey, like, look at this. And then they just kind of ran out of energy.
Yeah, and people now have too high expectations for them.
Although, I don't know if, like... Because, like, I heard, like, I don't know if maybe I'm confusing it with the Sonic HD remake that the fans are doing, but I heard that the reason why development just stopped was because, like, the lead guy... Because, like, the thing is, it's not like a team of people, like, that all know each other. It's just, like, guys on the internet, you know? The guy who has the source code, like, the programmer of it all, he just kind of stopped talking to people one day. Like, he stopped communicating with them, and the thing is, he has the source code. So they can't finish... The rest of the guys who like building it, they can't finish shit. And, like, nobody can get in contact with him.
I doubt that, because this is the internet. If people can't get the source code, they'll just make their own.
Well, but it's different. Like, game development is much different from that, because it's like with a mod, when you're modding something, you have to work with what you have. Like, if you have the source code, you have the tool that creates the game. And that's something you sadly just can't, like, conjure up cheap. You know, like a source code, like, you have to design it specifically for a thing, and I don't know, I might just be talking out of my ass, but I remember reading that, like, source code, like, some people said the same thing, why don't you guys just, like, make your own source code, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. But, I could be completely wrong, but
who knows? We're not exactly skilled in game development.
Yeah. Guys, I'm playing Sonic 1 with an Xbox One controller, using the joystick to move. I think I know what I'm talking about, okay? But...
And I also noticed that that is the first checkpoint since you started the level.
Oh god, it is, isn't it? This is the worst. Like, Labyrinth Zone is the worst.
I know. I hated Labyrinth Zone so
This
much.
is such a bad level. Like, hey, you know how, like, Sonic's a super fast platformer that is faster than Mario? How about we make it slower than Mario? And have, like, water levels that aren't as fun.
It's kind of funny because I've never really liked water levels, and I do not understand how in the slightest...
What about Super Mario Sunshine? That game's a water level.
It's an exception because...
Because that's a great game.
That's a good game. But, actually what I was getting to is something that is also part of the reason...
Oh.
Part of the reason why I'm not the biggest fan of Marble Garden, or whatever it is in this game. I know it appears later on in Sonic and Knuckles, but, I don't get why people like lava stages. Why do people like
stages, like, lava stages, and...
Why are they everywhere?
Lava and ice are, like, the worst when you're playing a video game.
I love ice stages.
Well, no, because that's always the one where they have the dumb, slippery mechanics where you, like, slip and slide around.
Dust didn't do that, but that's kind of a weird game.
Voss, we're talking about traditional platformers, where the ice stage, you're slipping and sliding around.
Yeah. In terms of, like, normal games, I absolutely love ones that have, like, winter stages with pretty ice scenery and snow mountains.
Oh yeah, no, like, pretty art styles are good.
And no matter what genre, what game it is in, I have never once, with the sole exception of Lava Reef Zone in 3, I've never liked any sort of fire/volcano stage.
I remember the SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game. I'm sure that didn't that have a lava thing at some point that was, like, alright? Oh no, it was, remember in
Destroyed
the SpongeBob...
City?
No, in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game, which, by the way, very catchy title, but, that was sarcasm. But, so... There was, like, that point in the movie when they fell into the pit with all the monsters. Remember? And they turned that into its own level, and it was, like, really fun and cool.
I don't remember it too well.
Man, what's also cool is, like, so you know how, like, when we were kids, we'd see, like, I don't know, you know, we'd see Tom and Jerry the video game, and we'd be like, oh my god, like, we gotta buy that, and then, you know, we're too dumb to realize it's not good.
Yeah.
Well, I was super scared that SpongeBob was that, like, that the SpongeBob movie video game was that, and it's like, oh no, what if it was just like, you know, I was dumb and it, like, wasn't a good game. No, I read reviews online and it was strongly received, like, very positively received by people. And so I'm like, oh, thank God, it is actually a good game. I'm not crazy. Same with Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I don't remember that game at all.
Battle for Bikini Bottom?
Yeah.
Remember the one with the robots?
No.
Remember the giant robot Patrick? That had a snow cone?
I feel like that's familiar, but I can't remember it.
Remember the final boss battle was like a gigantic robot SpongeBob? That floated?
I feel like I can picture what you're talking about in my head, but I can't remember if I've really played it. If you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And to be fair, that game was just a poor man's SpongeBob movie, the video game. Which, to be fair, that was also a very good game. Just not as good as the SpongeBob movie video game. Oh man, this level's re-energizing me.
I've always loved, like, the night, like, the stage that is focused not around darkness, but around, like, night. Because they always have, it's always
How am
really
I supposed to do this?
jump.
Can I use this to, like...
Jump.
Well, I'm not trying to get past it, I'm trying... Can I use it to get myself
Can you spin
going?
dash in this game?
No. No, this is... Voss, this is before they invented spin dashes. This was a time before, you know, we as a society invented spin dashes.
But, yeah, I've always really liked the night, as in night, like, not the darkness or the
Oh,
blackness.
the Dark Knight!
Like, I've always liked the stages that are focused more around night as, like, the peace and quiet after the hecticity of the day, if that's even a word.
Probably not.
But I've liked them because they always have really calm and relaxing music. For me, music is always a make or break situation. If your game does not have good music, I don't care how good it is, I'm not going to play it.
Well, it's like with movies, the soundtrack makes up 60% of the movie.
Huh.
Yeah, well, no, have you seen, like, those edits? That's actually a saying that that's a code that filmmakers live by, is your soundtrack will make up about 60% of the experience. But for video games, I feel like it's the opposite, where it's soundtracks make up 40% of the experience, with gameplay making up the other, 60. Which, that's still a pretty sizable chunk. You gotta have a good soundtrack in your video game.
Yeah.
You can't be like Killzone or Knack or something where you just have like a garbage generic soundtrack.
If you want to give an example of a game with an absolutely godlike soundtrack, look at either Nuclear Throne or Titan Souls. Both of them have one of... Oh yeah, Deadbolt 2.
Bloodborne also has a pretty damn good soundtrack.
I don't remember the Bloodborne soundtrack that much.
Bloodborne was beautiful. Bloodborne was like a work of art.
One of the things, I know people probably aren't going to really like me for this, but in the DLC, I told you about them a little bit. The Living Failure boss fight is one of my favorite in the whole game.
Yeah.
It was the one in the garden with the huge-ass sunflower.
I haven't played the DLC yet.
I told you a little bit about it, but pretty much there are these weird human, like, you remember the little blue things? The, like, alien creatures?
The things
you
that
found?
like run away every once in a while?
Not like the little things that crawl on the ground, but remember they were like glowing blue, they were like the stereotypical alien design?
No, I don't. Well, the thing
Remember, you would find them in Isofka's clinic if you fed her people?
I don't think I ever got to that point in the game.
They look kind of like blue humans that have the Juggernaut the Marvel Juggernaut mask instead of a head. But everything about them is blue. And you enter this big arena that's donut-shaped with a gigantic sunflower in the middle that you can't pass by.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man, thank God.
So you enter this big donut arena, and then there's a living failure in front of you. You go, you attack it, and then one attacks you from behind, and guess what? There's 2 now. Then another one attacks, and guess what? There's 3. And then another, and now there's 4. No more than 4 will spawn at a time, but pretty much each living failure enemy only consists of about 10% of the actual boss health bar. When you kill a living failure, just wait 5 seconds and a new one will spawn. And you have to kill the boss, the living failures, before all of the living failures single will die.
The boss, like big boss? Is it kind of like Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah.
Does he have like 8, is he renamed like 8 different times within the first act of the game? Like Metal Gear Solid 5, they called him
Big Boss Snake.
Solid Snake, Venom Punished Snake, or something ridiculous, insane like that.
I've actually kind of like half dropped Metal Gear Solid 5 simply because every single mission is telling me, you need to research this, you need to construct this, you need to do this.
Oh yeah,
and
no, sadly, Metal Gear Solid 5, the first 2 hours of it are easily some of the most painful.
Not even like the first
designed.
2 hours. It's like I'm already like 5 hours into the game, and I'm just stop telling me to get resources when they're so fucking hard to get.
Resources? You can find them when you infiltrate the bases. They're like on desks and stuff.
But they give you so little.
Yeah, which they probably, Konami wants their money.
Win. Or fee to pay, as I heard someone call it.
Jim Sterling?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Sterling's a pretty good channel. But, well, like, Metal Gear Solid 5 also, like, I'm so far into the game that I'm in the second act of the game, I think it's called, like, or the second half. Which I also hear is where the story really goes downhill, like, even more so. Because, like, now, here's the thing. I'm just saying this as somebody who has never played any of the other Metal Gear games. I was always a Splinter Cell guy. But, like, I feel like Kojima is not as good at telling, like, a story and creating a world as he thinks he is. Because, I've seen interviews with him, and he's a big movie buff. He really likes movies. Like, loves movies. But, like, I don't think that translates into games well, because he's, like, he's obviously, like, he's got a lot of ideas, but it's just so many ideas and not enough actually, like, like, deciding, hey, like, maybe this is, like, too much.
I had a friend that I talked with him a little bit about the Metal Gear story, and from what it sounded like to me, it's not something you should really pay attention to.
Because, like, I know that everyone keeps telling me, like, no, like, you gotta play Metal Gear 4, because that has a genuinely good story.
For me and my friend, he was a huge, absolutely gigantic Metal Gear buff. He said it was always the third. Okay. Like, the third is the greatest Metal Gear Solid game ever, and he claims on, he prays on his, he promises on his life that it's, like, the greatest game of all time or something.
Yeah, I don't know, it just looks like Splinter Cell, but not as realistic, and, like, not as, like, I don't know, it's like,
I mean, there's a guy named Spider who dislocates his arms so he can crawl up trees backwards.
Yeah, I don't think it